You gotta make a studio in here somewhere.
The whole thing.
That would be good. You could probably rent it out too.
Yeah.
Look at this. Well,
Maybe free.
I'm going to be down here quite a bit, so. We're live right now, just by the way. When you bat, do you go down when you get really good? When you bat really good for like shows, do you go down in the number?
I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know.
You don't know. Not a baseball fan?
No.
No? I'm not either, as you know.
I know what. When I'm in Tampa, though, I'm going to go to a baseball game.
That's
Apparently, the Jays will be there.
All right. Well, fun boy. There's Richard White. Hello, Richard White. Anyways, everyone, welcome to the late night restaurant show. We are here. Here we are. Hello, everyone. Doug and myself are eating pizza tonight. Dominic, that camera's really close. There we go. You may want to tweak it. You're got the Batman thing going on in the 60s.
Yeah.
Built that one that way. That or sit on an angle. Anyways, we got a great show tonight, everyone. We got an amazing guest on here. We all also are enjoying pizza from Coco Brooks here, barbecue chicken. If anyone's watching us on Link or TikTok, you can see Dominic there gnawing back. You almost gnawed that whole thing back.
I'm done. I was starving.
And you said wasn't really hungry. Jeez, dude.
I'll probably say that a lot, Jay.
You say that a lot, okay. Anyways, we got a great guest, everyone, and we're gonna have fun tonight. This guest, I think I'm going to be batting over 100.
Yeah.
I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
I don't really know if I say it right, but...
Batting 100, I've heard that.
Have you?
Yeah, I think it means you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think that is, but when you get past, like, you can do better than 100.
Oh, maybe Christian, I don't know.
Probably. He's a pretty smart guy. You can tell already. Treats his staff awesome. Anyways, I try not to be rude and eat on our show tonight, but
sorry.
Well, no, you finished already, and TikTok is watching. So if you're watching us on TikTok tonight, please watch us on the other shows. Or if you want to watch Dominic gnaw back or drink or beat pizza. So I don't know. There we go. It's because I have to put it on charger.
Oh.
Because I'm out of gas, I got to charge my phone because I gotta use my card.
Oh. Okay.
I didn't fill up all the way over here.
You want to squeeze that?
There we go.
There we go.
All right.
Done.
Anyways, we got a great show tonight, everyone. We're going to cut to a commercial. Dominic, what are you doing April 8th?
April 8th. Huh. I'm going to be in Toronto, Jay. Restaurants Canada show.
Doing what?
Intercare Center. Taking in the show. But we'll be there displaying with Canadian Food Safety Group, Safe Chick Training, and some lovely people from our office here will be there as well. And Cherry, that works for us in Toronto, she'll be there as well. And then...
Sorry, TikTok, not tonight.
No
TikTok tonight. I can't do that. It's driving me crazy.
No worries.
So you guys are going to be at the Restaurants Canada show, everyone. We have to do a little plug here for them. April 8th to the 10th.
April 8th, 9th, and 10th. Yeah, at the Intercare Center.
In Toronto.
And
if you don't go...
Well, you're going to miss out because it's an awesome show. It's an
Dominic's
awesome show
being polite.
Oh.
You just suck if you don't go.
See, I would never say that, Jay. I'd let you say that.
You're too conservative.
I'm older than you.
Can't say suck?
No, I can say suck. I save that for our politicians, Jay.
Can't say the P word. So April 8th to the 10th. It's 3 days at the Encana Center.
Yeah, Intercare.
Why did I say Encana?
I don't know. Encana, Calgary.
Probably, yeah.
Intercare Center.
Intercare Center.
Yeah. Near BMO Field. but anybody who's down there, most people will know where that is. Intercare Center.
It's
It's
awesome.
a big place.
It's a big show.
It's a big show.
Lots of show. It's the only big show in Canada.
Yeah, and I think it's they have the bar and restaurant show there at the same time. So it's like kind of two shows in one. You get two for one there.
I think there's another one too.
Oh, yeah, we'll be at another one. We'll be at the Ontario Long-Term Care Association show on the 9th and 10th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's run a commercial, and then we're
Yeah.
gonna have this amazing guest in. He's a rock star. I'm a huge fan because you know what he called me a couple of weeks ago.
You said you're the. And
I
I think
think,
that was
it was like more of a hit.
no.
maybe
Howard Stern's awesome.
I know he's awesome.
Howard
And he does
Stern.
what we do. We promote the industry. We talk about everyone in
Yeah.
the industry. We highlight them. We don't highlight ourselves.
Howard Stern could be. I think you're nicer than Howard Stern. Actually, I think you're just as good and maybe better, but you're nicer than Howard Stern. Howard Stern could be an ass sometimes.
No, I don't think so anymore.
What?
Not anymore. He's
Howard
not an
Stern?
ass anymore. No,
Sometimes he's. I think he's mellowed out.
I think he's
Guaranteed.
mellowed out.
For sure.
He was,
Yeah. But he's
but that
still
was just shtick.
Yeah.
Well, Christian's going to tell us too, because I
Oh.
think he listens to him.
Okay.
Anyways, let's run the Restaurants Canada show, and then we'll be right
Yeah.
back, everyone. And we won't loop this one twice.
No, you've been hitting
I've been
100 on that.
one too. Here we go. Awesome. Welcome back, everyone. Christian, welcome to our show, buddy.
Yeah. Welcome, Christian.
This
Thanks
is
so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. I'm
Christian
looking
Fischer.
forward to spending some time with you guys today.
Yeah.
You
Show
know
us
what?
that bottle again.
Yeah, let's bring the bottle back out. It's gone now. It's empty. Just listening to us bicker.
Fischer Vineyards, Pinot Noir. Awesome.
Now, is that
that's the Jesus fish on there?
was it?
I'm pretty sure. Is that a Christian fish on it?
It kind of evolved into it. So it's my family's vineyard back home in Austria. So
Nice.
No way.
Cool.
Are you from Austria?
yeah, native Austrian.
How long you been in the United States?
Came in 92 and started working for Nestle and fell in love. And here we are.
Fell in love with Nestle? No. What the hell?
There's nothing wrong with Nestle.
Well, Nestle's not sponsoring us. Nestle's a big corporate giant. I
Yeah,
think you fell in love with somebody else.
No, they treated me really well. I worked in 17 countries for them, and
Wow.
Holy cow.
yeah, I met somebody, and we've been married almost 30 years, and
Good for you.
have 4 amazing children. All of my kids are adopted from China, so we have a real
wow.
international household.
Nice. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Christian, I've heard you're like the absolutely one of the most nicest, incredible people from Monty, from everyone I talk about. It comes up all the time. I'm starting to get that kind of feeling here. Incredible. What's this drive? Where do you get this from? Where do you get this? Where does this amazing mindset and persona come from of being just awesome?
It's a very good question, a very long story, but a very good question.
You haven't heard Dominic talk about politics yet.
Hey, my uncle was the president of Austria for 16 years, so we don't.
Wow.
We don't.
Well, then he might have been a good politician if he was there that long. He might have been one of the good ones. Good for him. It's awesome. 16 years? Yeah, for damn sure.
16 years?
He said it was the president of Austria for 16 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And,
Cool.
yeah. So now for me, I grew up in the restaurant industry. My parents owned a hotel for almost 60 years. I have 5 brothers, 5 sisters. So I was one of the younger ones. So my parents had very few hobbies. Obviously, they had one. And for me, I've been in the restaurant industry all my life. I had my first restaurant at 19.
Wow.
So been
What?
in Austria or in the States?
in Austria. So I had this little restaurant. It was on the corner, so I called it the Corner Place, and and I couldn't afford staff, so I needed to be creative, and I had a salad bar in the restaurant, and only the meals came from the kitchen, and it was brand new at the time in Austria. Everybody thought I was a genius. I couldn't do it any other way, and it became popular, and eventually Nestle came and bought my restaurant, and it became the restaurant concept for Stouffer hotels here in the US.
Nestle bought your restaurant?
The whole concept.
Wow.
I had
Told
6.
you he's.
Yeah, I
It's
had
awesome.
6. Yeah, and I was 23. I had 6, and they came and made me an offer, and the rest is history.
Good for
Okay,
you.
you were 23 and Nestle came and bought your restaurant.
3 of them, 6 of them, 6 of them, or 3 of them,
I had 6 of them.
6 of them, and that became the concept for Stouffer's.
Stouffer Hotel. There was. Do you remember back in the day? I don't know if they had it in Canada, but here in the US we had Stouffer Hotel. So it
Yes.
became the grill option of Stouffer Hotel.
Yeah, I've heard of Stouffer hotels for sure.
Really?
Yep.
Are they all over Europe?
No,
No,
it's
they were
American.
just in the US. None of them in Europe.
Really? So I got to ask this. So Christian, because this is odd. Like I don't hear 19-year-olds starting restaurants and then go and selling a whole bunch to.
He was
Nestle.
one of 11 though.
He's one of 11. Are you number 11?
No.
Me?
Yeah.
Birth order.
11 in what?
No,
Birth
your
order.
children. You said you have 10 brothers and
Oh
sisters.
yeah, no, I have 5 brothers, 5 sisters. I have 2 younger sisters.
Oh, okay.
And out of all of my family, I'm the only one left in the food industry.
Okay.
You never learned your lesson apparently.
Yeah, obviously, I know I didn't listen. The old man.
If your
says-
parents would have said you were stubborn, I'm sure.
You know what? So I was actually 1 year pre-med, and I had to do an incision. I will never forget this. This
Are you-
56-year-old guy, they mark him, that's where you need to cut him. And I cut him, and the next thing I remember, I woke up, and they said, "You know what, Christian?
Better do something else.
Maybe
I love it.
this is not for you." And then I went home, and the old man said, "Hey, what do you want to do with your life?" I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna travel the world. I want to take the summer off."
Yeah.
He says, "Good." It was on a Thursday. He says, "Okay, you have to Saturday." And then on Saturday, he dropped me off in this hotel where nobody finished their apprenticeship in 8 years because the owner was just a joy to work for.
Holy
And
cow.
Austria.
and yeah, so we worked there from 5 a.m. She came and woke us up, and we worked breakfast, we worked lunch, then we had a little bit of time off in the afternoon, and
Yeah.
then back to dinner to 11 o'clock at night. And I was like, this really sucks. So I jumped out the back window. I went home. My dad said, "What are you doing here?" I was like, "Yeah, this just really blows, And then he says, no, he builds character. Got me back in the car, drove me back. And yeah, was eventually the first guy in 14 years finishing my apprenticeship, and I was really
Wow.
lucky. I finished as a butcher, baker. So, in Austria, in order to serve food, you need to have a degree, and a cook. So I graduated with 4 degrees.
Wow.
You need a degree in Austria to sell food?
No,
To serve food,
make
yes,
food.
To make
yeah.
food?
3 years. Yep.
3 years as a waiter?
No.
He said waiter.
No, all the things, all of them. You
No,
have to do
there
it
were
3
6 years in total. 6 years in total. So
Yeah.
in order to serve food, 2 years minimum, 3 years preferred.
No
If you
way.
do a dual apprenticeship, it was 2 years serving food, 2 years cooking. Depends on what was going on.
Yeah.
And then every year you added on, you got another profession.
Now, guess what? Right? Guess what countries for the longest time turned out all the best chefs? They came from Germany, Austria. They did. That's just
Yeah.
where
They take it serious. It's super serious. Right?
My instructor was Swiss.
Dominic's a baker too, Christian.
Yeah.
I was not a good baker though. Thank you, but I.
Yeah, and then
I was good at it.
I've never really thought of that. You kind of must have sucked because you don't do it anymore.
No, I was.
Okay,
Here we go. I made money for the company I worked for. That's all they were happy. They were happy about that.
Okay.
And you know how to treat people well, Jay. That made it easy for me.
For me, I wasn't the greatest baker. I worked for this German master baker. And we did this entree, this really delicate chocolate thing. And I was a little bit short chocolate. And he says, Christian, go temper some chocolate. I was like, he ain't looking. I put it in the microwave.
Oh.
And he came around the corner. He said, Christian, no, he was like, he says, everybody stop. He says, look what he just did. He raped the chocolate.
Oh, no.
He put the chocolate in the microwave. He called it culinary rape. He says, go punch out and go home. Next day I had to come back and apologize. I microwaved the chocolate. So that was my...
Okay, so you finished Austria, sold your places. You came over, did you say 81?
So I came 92. And
92.
I worked for Nestle in Glendale, California. That's where they were headquartered at the time.
Really?
And they had, and it wasn't called Nestle at the time. So I worked for a division called FIS, Food Ingredient Specialist, and Miners, the flavor company.
Oh,
so
Miners, yes. Yeah, we know Miners.
That's the best. They make the best stuff.
So I was a minor chef, and they had this little thing where they could say, oh, do you want to do a project? And you could go 3-4 months to South Africa, learn how to make croquettes, go back home, make a croquette mix and sell it back in South Africa. And I did 17 trips like that. And,
wow, good for you.
Yeah.
Holy.
17 trips.
Like that. 3 or 4 months at
Are
a
you
time.
like 90 years old, Kristen? You have the most incredible life, dude. That's a pretty crazy life.
No, you know what? There was food, because one thing my dad always said to me, he says, Christian, you got to cook, because there's always people which want to be served, and there's always people which want to eat great food. If you cook and you're good at it, you will have work for the rest of your life.
Yeah. You know what? My mom said the same thing, is that stay in the food service world, Jay, because I think it's actually was my grandpa that said, everyone's got to eat.
Yeah.
Right. So if you do that and you do well, you'll be fine. Right. And then, many stories, not about me, but I'm blown away. So you started your Nestle. Like, I want to get to where you are today, Kirsten, because I'm waiting for you that you were with NASA for a week and went on the moon or something. Like, here we go. Did you hear what he said? He said, actually. Okay, keep going, buddy. Keep going. Here we go.
So NASA had this routine that every time the fuel tank on the shuttle closed, we made this bean recipe, which was from 1956. And the recipe was terrible, but when the shuttle took off, everybody ate the beans. And I said, this really blows. And I think we could do better. And I actually got NASA to change the recipe, and we actually made a better version of those beans. Yeah.
Dude, you are incredible. Incredible. First of all, I want to get into the second of your life, or like, because I think this is going to be a lot. First of all, it's not a podcast tonight.
This isn't a podcast.
This isn't
we
a
never
podcast.
ran our disclaimer.
We can do it. Can we do a disclaimer check, Chef? Can we do it, Christian? Can we just wait? We have to put a disclaimer up here, so just so you know that our discussion tonight is not a perspective of our vendors or our sponsors.
No,
because we're idiots. You don't want
one of us is.
So, we cannot.
We'll let the people watch it.
Exactly. Don't believe our shit. Right? Yeah. Don't believe us. Don't think it's the sponsors telling us to say these things.
Absolutely
not at all.
If we let them, we would be saying zero.
And we're not. And this is not a podcast by no means.
Yeah.
It may be up with the other podcasts, and you may surf through it.
Just making those guys look bad. The podcast make them look bad.
They look like schmucks trying to be a podcast.
Spotify wants us up there to make.
I know. That's what they did. Like, go on there, be a podcast. And they're like, no, we're not. Not a podcast. No, we got that out of the way now. We got the disclaimer out of the way. We're not a podcast. Christian's been with NASA now
Well, he wasn't with them.
I wasn't.
He was making food.
He's got wait for NASCAR.
which
dude.
No
provided-
NASCAR.
NASCAR?
I'm sure there's a
There's a
NASCAR. right?
NASCAR story.
Unfortunately, no NASCAR. No NASCAR.
I love it.
What does it say behind you, Christian? What does it say on the wall? Something create.
It's create because
that's create.
so-
the plant. Okay, sorry. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
there was
So-
some words
for me-
behind the plant.
there's
No,
actually a dual meaning for that. So I honestly believe we creating conversation, and in order for you to create something amazing, you need to open your mouth and you need to talk to somebody. So it became one of my slogans. Yeah, it became.
Do you see my
Creativity.
look? I got it on my wall too.
Genius.
Right here, how the fucking
Creativity
cameras.
is genius. Honey. What?
No, it's not just honey.
What is
The
that?
fuck is that? It's like I got honey
I
jam.
don't know. Jam, yeah.
Fucking
And
Christ.
toast.
So it says creativity is genius having fun.
Oh yes. Amen.
Right?
Yeah. It's good.
And for me, everything started with create, because if you hang out with people which think bigger than you, and you have intelligent conversations, you will create something.
That you know what? That's why I think we've got a chemistry here, Christian.
Yeah.
Like
No, for
honestly,
sure.
you're on the same path I am.
Yeah.
I can't stop creating. I can't stop.
No.
I would like to stop
There's-
once in a while.
There's no such thing as a
No.
bad idea.
You have like 7 podcasts now. I produce 7. I'm producing one with Christian too and Monty,
Cool.
and all these podcasts I'm doing. And it's like, can we do another one? Let's do another one. I do yours.
Yeah, he does the safe check one.
I do the safe check one.
We've got a cool guest coming up on Friday. Dr.
We do.
Darren Duttweller.
It's a
from-
doc. You brought a doctor
He's
into
from
us.
the movie Poisoned. He was the other feature in Poisoned.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
On Netflix.
Yeah.
Christian may want to tune into that one because
Yeah,
way
I
smarter
love-
people are with us. It's a good one.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
just
maybe you guys need to come on my podcast then. I'm just a cook and I don't have a disclaimer. So I need to do a
Have a
disclaimer.
Do you want to bring
do
ours
you
up
want to
again?
get one? Because we
We
can
can
make
share
one
one
up.
up for you.
How about the
Like-
little banner at the bottom?
we get a little banner for you.
And we can make yours say anything you want. It could say,
Yeah.
"This is a podcast."
Yeah.
If you want to see a non-podcast, go see Jay.
Yeah. I'm a chef and this is a podcast. We can put that on there. Right?
Chef, you said you're
I'm
just a cook, but are you?
I'm just
Are
a
you
cook.
You're not
the,
just a cook. You're not just a cook.
somebody asked me the other day. You seem to me that you're the chief cook and bottle washer because you do everything. Is that correct? It is.
Yeah, if you haven't done all of it, you never did it right.
Yeah. It's so true. Because you,
Fuck,
now
that's a
you're
good line.
bringing
That's a good
you're
line,
bringing
too.
in help to help you. You've got some people with some expertise, like you said, that are smarter than you. But you've been down the road. You've been through the war and through the and through the in the trenches. So now you have the ability, or maybe the smarts. Maybe it just took this long to learn to get some other people around you, because you can't do everything, right? But you know what's right because of doing everything.
I
Yeah.
totally agree.
Cool. Awesome.
I agree.
It's every entrepreneur's story, man. Every entrepreneur, they go through it, Jay. The successful ones go through. They've been there.
Well,
You don't get just to hire people off the bat and have success, because, like you said, you have to put salad bar up front, not because you were brilliant. You are, by the way. Well, I'll put my own disclaimer in there, but you put it out front because of necessity.
Dominic usually doesn't say that, by the way.
That's usually
Yeah.
Jay's
That's
line.
usually my line.
Yeah.
Way to go. He stole my fucking line now.
Sorry,
It was,
you're really
you know,
awesome. I'll let Jay say brilliant. Yeah, you're awesome, chef.
And everybody talked to me. Oh, Christian, it was so amazing. You had your restaurant with 18, and it was just about 19. But the real story behind that is a lot different than that. And so my story was, I was just about 18. In Austria, you can drive a motorcycle before you can drive a car. You can drive a motorcycle at 16, but you can't
So
drive
if
a
you
car.
make it through the motorcycle years, you can drive a car?
Like you graduated to 4 wheels.
Friday afternoon, I drive back to the hotel I had my apprenticeship. Light turns green. I get going. The next thing I woke up, 2 of my bones were sticking out of my arm. This guy ran a light and took me out. I broke my second vertebrae. I had the 4 screws, the whole upper body in a cast. I still have plastic bones and stuff in my arm. And in a hospital for a month. On the day I was released, we drive home. Sitting on the second, GM 1967. I was in the passenger seat, no seatbelt. We trying to get onto the highway. Drunk driver comes off the highway, hits us straight on. I flew out the window.
Did you take the window out?
Yeah. And in coma for 10 days, hospital for 14 months, learned to walk again, talk again, all the good stuff.
Wow.
And where Create comes in, I was in the hospital 13 months, was just going on the 14 months. This guy comes to me. He's from the state. In Austria, everybody's union. And the guy says, Christian, listen, you're 18, or you're just about being 18. You have a choice to make. You have the opportunity to retire because you're 65% handicapped, because I still have a hole in my head from which we never gotten fixed. So he says you're 65% handicapped. Nobody will hire you. You can retire, do whatever you want to do, or you do what you want to do. And I sat there and I says, I'm 18 years old. What the fuck am I going to do? You know? And I said, I'm not going to take the retirement package. I couldn't find a job. I was sitting at home and it says, you know what? Fuck it. I open up a restaurant. Had no money. And I found this corner place, really small. So let me focus. Small place. It was me and my best friend. And I said to him, listen, all the money we make, I give you 50%. At the time, I had no idea of partnership or anything else. Yeah. And I said, I don't need you to do anything. I take care of everything. I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning, went to the butcher, had him slice my meat, went to the produce shop, got my produce, was at the restaurant by 6:37. We prepped, we opened up for lunch at 11. And he came at 10:30. He helped me serve lunch. We cleaned up. We wanted to open for dinner. And, built a little something. A few months into it, I said to him, hey, I want you to work for me full time. He says, no, it's too much work. And so I had to do it on my own. And there went. So that's the real story. The fun story is I had my first restaurant at 19 because I'm so amazing. I had to.
Holy shit.
No other choice.
Necessity is the mother of invention, right?
Mm.
It just happened.
I know, but there's something else there.
Well, diversity builds character.
Christian's
he would not be here.
Something else.
He wouldn't be here. He's like he said.
But what is that?
It was the accident. It was the drunk drive. So, I'm not saying you should go thank him because you shouldn't. He should hopefully still be in jail. But, it's those things that come around in your life that spark change. They do.
Yeah.
Right.
And you have to. Yeah. You started out. Why am I who I am today? I think that made me. And for me, I always looked at, Isn't
that the most crazy? Like I would say crazy.
Yeah.
But it is just fascinating.
Yeah. I think it's a lot of people. That's their story. Something happened. Something broke. Yeah. There was, and it doesn't have to be as dramatic as Christian's either, for
right?
sure, right? But it is always something that says, "I got to do something different." Yeah, and I got to do something different.
For me, that was. I mean, for the longest time, I have to, the first few months, I was depressed out of my mind because, like, why me? Mm-hmm. And my dad said the first time I woke up out of coma, my first word was, "Why fucking me?" kind of thing, and my dad, listen, there was two things my dad always said, as I was young, I thought he was an idiot. Now I quote him. But my dad always said, he says, listen, it doesn't matter how thin you slice it, there's always two sides. And he always said to me, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
Until I learned it's so true. So now, for me, I also think all what we do is a choice. I have the choice to wake up in the morning to be pissed off, or I have the choice to come in here every morning and create. And for me, that's where create comes in. And let's build something amazing every day, a little bit at a time.
Yeah. So cool. Yeah, it's an awesome story.
It's crazy.
It is.
It's a Netflix movie.
Now
your Netflix movie.
Now let's jump ahead. Okay. You're working at Nestle Miners in California.
Yeah. So, and then my break became, there was a group called Chef to Chef. Do you remember that in the late 90s, early 2000s? Chef, the number 2 chef.
Chef to Chef. I think I heard of that.
Yeah. They were out of New York and they hosted this contest in 2002. I think it was 2000. And where they said, hey, people can nominate other people.
Wow.
And they have 5 criteria. They need to be good chefs. They need to be good managers. They need to be good to their people. You know, it had all of these things. And they need to make an impact in the industry overall. And if you Google it today, you know, Chef to Chef and my name, you see I happened to be one that year. So I won. I was a USA top chef. I beat out Mario Batali, Wolfgang Puck, and all the big names. And
Those, of course you did.
Yeah, like who are they?
And yeah, so, and that started all of it for me. And then Nestle asked me, hey, do you want to write our cookbooks? And I wrote all the cookbooks for Nestle, the Nestle Dollhouse cookie cookbooks. They're all my books.
Wow.
And I fell in love with, I fell in love with book writing. I have 34 books now. And
hey, this does not come on our show often. This kind of people. Like,
no,
this
we've
is
had
crazy.
33, but 34, holy shit.
Like, fucking 34.
So you got the record now, Chef.
Like, this is, I want to find out the DNA because this is crazy.
Well, he's
like,
number 9 of 11.
9 of 11. Like, it's
His
not
dad
awkward.
was.
I got constantly shit on because I was the youngest. My family is 5 inches taller than me. It always pissed me off. I was by far the shortest. It's upsetting.
But you're probably the cutest, I'm going to say, because that's you always pick. You go to pick. I'm not trying to equate. I'm not going to equate him to anything here. Where am I going? It's like when you go and get a puppy or a cat. You want the little one. You want the little one. I didn't call him a runt. I did not. Jay, what the hell?
We can call a chef a runt.
I'm not. This is a term of endearment.
Books.
I mean, you. Cheers. But I don't know his comment.
Good for you, because again, now you said it always pissed you off. That's another common thing is people. I'm going to prove you wrong. Yeah. I'm going to prove you wrong. Even if you don't say it out loud, you're saying it internally to yourself, right?
And so for me, I always
the guy from the States said, right?
He said, "Hey, you quit." No, I agree. You're absolutely right. For me, I was always fascinated. Wolfgang Puck is from my hometown. Arnold Schwarzenegger is from my hometown, and I always said, "What makes Wolfgang Puck better?" And Jay, Wolfgang Puck is not the greatest chef, but he's a good marketer. And for me, I was always fascinated what makes people excel. And I was also always a big fan of modeling. So if somebody did something really amazing, let me try that on. I want to try, see if I can do that. And for me, the book thing was not to say I have books. I wanted to do it because I wanted to prove to myself I can write a book. And I wrote my first, the first book I self-published was For the Love of Austria. So it was my love letter to my home country. I have some pictures in there my kids and I took, and I did the recipes which made my restaurant successful. Super simple peasant food, and it became one of those things. And then I shared with some people.
That book actually ended up doing really well too. And the book did really well.
Yeah, and then the crazy thing was, it wasn't the sales side from thing. It what the book did with me, and at the time as I came out, Austrian Airlines bought 20,000 copies because they gave it away for the month of October, which is Austrian Heritage Month, for every first class passenger. I just sold 15,000 copies to the Austrian Embassy in New York City. They gave it away for everybody who comes into Austria.
No way.
That's why. Smart title.
Smart.
Good book. It's a family story. You know what I mean? He's got his kids in it, so he's hit. And when you did it, you didn't know you were hitting all the things. By the way, right? You just didn't know it. You just, hey, I'm going to make something that I like.
Yeah, and so for me, I don't like giving up.
Research what was going to be a really good book. He didn't.
He didn't use AI.
Well, first off,
He didn't use AI. Did
Well,
you,
the
Chef?
internet, the internet wasn't
No
around, so
AI.
there was no research.
You know, he didn't use fucking AI.
No.
No AI. So, and then the thing was, I said, I can do it. I will do it all myself. So I did this thing, and it took me 7 years. I had the book done. I uploaded at the time. It was called not MySpace. What was it? CreateSpace or whatever it was within Amazon, and then it became Amazon Digital Kindle Digital Publishing. And every time I submitted it, it was rejected because I didn't hit the margin. I was like,
Are you serious?
yeah. And for 7 years, my wife called me 4 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing up? I was like, the fucking margin. I can't get the fucking margin right. You know? and she says, why don't you ask somebody for help? No, fuck no. I'm so close.
No.
And then I eventually I gave up. I hired this guy. His name was Robert. And it cost me $250 an hour. And I said that he said, so what's the problem with the book? I said, my margin. He says, okay, it's really easy. You know what you do? Bring up your book. You see the number there where it says blah, blah, blah. It needs to say 0.128. I was like, serious? That's all it is? Yeah, push it. Boom, upload it, worked. I was like, son of a bitch, you know?
$250.
$15.
$250 the guy made.
Yeah. So, but you know, it's one of those things. I honestly believe our industry, we are taught you need to do it all yourself. And it's looked upon as a weakness when you raise your hand. I was like, no, we need to change the industry. And then as I had my book out there, a lot of my friends said, this is just the funniest shit. You wrote a book, you know, you're nobody. And I was like, no, I actually wrote just 3 more. And
He's got another one. I know he does.
my very first book, I was like, we need to write journals. That was my first journal I wrote.
It's Jay's journal. Jay's. Good for you.
That's fucking
That's a good
brilliant,
journal.
Ian.
Yeah.
That's a good
My wife
journal.
said-
It's a great
My
journal.
wife said, that is fucked up. Sold 18,000 copies.
Oh my god.
And then
Now, Mr. Chef, is this before Amazon?
yeah, it was still at the time Amazon. So these now. So and then I started this, you know.
If you want breakfast in bed, sleep in the kitchen. That's a good one
That's
too.
a fucking great line. Is that a shirt?
With your superpower, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you know we elevated and we did.
Okay, just stop it. That should be a T-shirt.
So
You
and
can sell a million shirts.
Let's put it on the can. Let's get a can with
and
that.
then
That's
you
good.
know it
That's good.
became
Yeah.
it,
What do we use instead of his face?
Well, he's,
put it
he's,
on the
he's a
can.
good-looking guy.
We'll put it on
But-
the can.
That's
So-
going to be back of the can, like the back of the,
They're fucking-
money.
and then the story is then people came to me and said, Christian, you're not the brightest guy. If you can write a book, can you teach me to write a book? I said, fuck yeah, I can. And then I started teaching my friends how to write a book, and now I have a digital publishing company, and we teach chefs how to write a book in 90 days. And you know, we have
It's nuts,
We have-
is it?
Can you teach a baker? I want to write them. Like we're harder than chefs, man. We don't know fractions very good.
I texted him after I found out that he helps people write a book, and I want to write a book because I've been dying to write a book.
Well, 90 days you can do it.
I can do it.
so
course
I
you can.
honestly believe it's not about writing the book. For me, what I love about writing a book, or the process of writing a book exposes who you really are. If you cut corners, you will never get the book done. If you are a good starter, not a finisher, you will never get the book done. If you know, a book exposes your weakness. I honestly believe it makes you a better person by just writing a book, and it doesn't really matter what it is.
I'm
And
a
what we
starter and
teach-
not a finisher.
What
But
we teach
not in all things, but in some things.
so we teach to write a book, not the book. And
book.
So we have one of our star students, you know, made close to $1 million over the last 2 years with his books, and he has
Wow.
9. And he
He's
has
9.
He's
contract.
9.
Yeah, he's
in
9
1
books.
year,
2 years, 2 years.
3 years.
Yep.
That's still good money. And that's his side gig, or maybe it's his full-time gig now, but it was his side gig. I'm assuming, correct?
Yeah, I have 3 of his books here. This was the very first one, Hog Candy.
Hog Candy. That's a good
I've
good title
seen
too.
that before.
Yeah.
I have
So-
seen that.
So he wrote about New Jersey barbecue. Now he writes about New Jersey seafood. And then he says, chefs are terrible leaders. He wrote a leadership book.
Wow.
Then I said, hey, you need to have a journal. He created a journal.
30 days, no bullshit. Guided self-evaluation. Yeah, cool.
So, that's what we do. That's my side hustle.
So that's your side hustle. So you became chef to chef.
Yep.
You won the title in 2002. I'm gonna try and move this forward here.
I'm still kind of baffled.
I know.
34
I see it.
fucking books.
Yeah. Well, just to think about it.
I'm
Now
still-
we got to go find somebody that's done 35. So
I know, I
you
don't
may
think
hold
we're
the
gonna
title for a
find-
long
I
time.
don't-
It's probably going to be
he's
you.
going to be him in like a week or two.
Actually,
Yeah, we're gonna
we're
podcast
launching
with
my
Taylor.
new book in 2 weeks.
Oh fuck.
Fuck.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
I have never
wait a sec.
met
Wait a
anyone
sec.
like
This is where we put the
This is the cover.
culinary kung. Wow, cool. That's
Culinary
good.
Kung
That's a good
Fu?
title too.
That's great.
So chef,
Yeah.
take us back to chef. You won,
Yeah.
and then what happened?
I called it I was selectively famous and still worked at the time at Nestle.
Yeah.
And there was this little thing called the Food Network.
Yeah.
The Food Network came to me at the time. We had the show in the US. It was called The Two Fat Ladies. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yeah,
One
I
of them,
remember that.
one of them passed away, and they wanted to give me a show, and they wanted me to, because in one of my restaurants here in the US, I did New England recipes. So they offered me a show. It was called the New England. And
Wait a second.
Whoa, whoa,
Yeah, no,
whoa,
just
whoa.
that back.
We
missed
something
this,
here.
We missed the step here. So
Okay.
before we, yeah. You are you going to say it or I'm going
No,
to say it?
you go for it.
Okay. Listen, chef to chef. Did you already own a restaurant? I thought you
Yes.
were working for miners.
So I was working for miners, and at the time we were vendors. We only gotten certain contracts. So
Okay.
I like stability. So I opened up an Austrian German restaurant in Woodbury, Connecticut, with my partner Fritz.
Great.
And
Of course, your partner's name was Fritz.
and actually,
Sorry. It's
Everybody-
not a racial slur.
No,
Chef,
this is
my name's Dominic. I'm not Italian.
so people were laughing. This is the funniest name. So we named the restaurant Fritz's.
Well, good for you. We had Jeff, and sorry, I got to say it. We had a dog named Fritz. We did. And guess what kind of dog it was? A German Shepherd, man.
It's so messed up, and it's so wrong.
I'm sorry. I just not a. We love. I married a German.
It's not a podcast either. But you gotta get that plug in.
Too
Sorry, disclaimer
Sorry.
time.
So you own Fritz.
Yeah.
With Fritz.
With Fritz.
See, that's another story. That should be a fucking book.
Actually,
Fritz and Fritz.
that should be a book. That should
That
be a
should
book.
be a book.
Fritz and
Well,
Fritz.
Julia to Julia. What's the Julia book? The Julia Childs one. Julia on Julia. There's the movie. What's it called? Fritz and Fritz. That's a
We're
book.
not
man.
watching the same shit.
You never seen the Julia Childs movie?
No, why would I watch that?
Because you're in this industry. Take that back. Say you're watching it tonight.
Okay,
So people don't-
watch it tonight. Sorry. I'm on Fritz and
Chef.
Fritz.
Chef, go and trademark that title. Because
Get the domain like
Get
I'm
the
told
domain.
every day.
go get the domain.
Anyways, okay, you got a restaurant,
Fritz.
Fritz.
And this is at when you do
2002?
chef to chef. It's happening, right?
And then, okay, let's get into this next thing after 2002.
Food
So-
Network.
Food Network.
Network at the
Get a
time.
show.
Two fat ladies. They asked them.
And Nestle said it's a conflict of interest. They didn't let me do it. They didn't let me do it. I was like, that really pisses me off. And I left there in 2005. And one of my customers was at the time the largest food service company here in the US. You know, we don't want to give commercials, but
No.
they hired
After
me.
disclosure, he said commercial.
So
I
they
know.
they offered me the VP of culinary job. I worked with them for 18 years, managed 400 college campuses in the US.
Holy crap.
And
What?
and then my story is I loved what I did, but I didn't like who I did it for.
Oh,
Yeah. And
I know
then
somebody like that.
yeah, and then something named COVID happened, and I always said COVID didn't happen to me. COVID happened for me, and what really happened, I was like, I had to take an honest look of what I did, and at the time I had a few different side hustles, and I said, F it, I go all in, and we went all in with the book, and then at the time. There's that company I work for has a lot purchasing group. They have a group purchasing group attached to that. I didn't enjoy that, so I said somebody needs to start something better than they have, and so I started my first GPO. So I have a food service GPO.
Good for you.
We are within we specialize in self-op. Anything self-op. And because I want...
Sir. Is that QB?
No, mine it's called the Campus Dining Purchasing Society.
Okay. But when you said, can you go back just before that? You said it's not, what did he say? I didn't understand.
What was that one? You keep going, Chef. Sorry.
Yeah, no. For me, I wanted to give all the self-op college campuses and self-operators the same unfair advantage than the big guys.
Self-operated
operators.
Oh, okay.
And
wow. Yeah.
So we're doing quite well with that.
Good for you.
How many?
How many locations we have currently?
Yeah.
So we have 112 in total within all the different segments. And then I started this with a partner of mine who became more than a partner. We have 3 restaurants together currently in Florida. I'm on the board.
Any in Tampa?
I'm sorry?
I'm just going to Tampa.
I'm going to Tampa next week.
Oh, we are West Palm Beach and Naples. And soon Jupiter. And so we do that. And then, he's one of those guys who said, hey, Christian, I just bought 47% of Nordic seafood. And I was like, what the fuck do you know about seafood? He says, nothing, but you do. And if you help me build it something, you're 50-50 partner. And so we have now a shrimp. We call ourselves the Shrimp King. We have a shrimp, which is a quarter of the coast of Scotland. We have it frozen salad in liquid nitrogen within 6 minutes of being on the boat. We ship it to Indonesia. We hand peel it and we ship it back in the brine. So we're doing a little bit of that.
Is there a benefit to shipping it back in the brine?
It's easier to ship, and it gives you, it kind of breaks down the fibers a little bit. It makes it a little
cool.
palatable.
Just curious. Okay.
And then it kind of took off. I was approached by this company out of Spain. They said, hey, we have this really amazing product. It's a startup. It's a encapsulated oil molecule. I said, you get my attention. And so I'm the CEO for them and managing director for Mexico, Canada, and the US. And so I helped them build, a name here in the industry. And we have 2 manufacturing plants, one of them in Canada and one of them here in the US. And so that started my consulting side. And then I always wanted to give chefs a voice. I said, hey, how are we going to do this? We created a mastermind group. So I run a mastermind group where we do 2 meetings a month. You could come and we give you all our insights and we share all of our knowledge with you. And then through that, I realized chefs need leadership training. I created a leadership training. I realized chefs need also, we have an online platform where we have currently 9 different trainings out in the marketplace. And so
what's that called, Chef? Chef, what's that under Mastermind?
So our mastermind, we used to call it the Culinary Executive Mastermind, and we just rebranded it literally July 1st. It's the Business Disruptor Mastermind, because a very small amount of people which joined us are culinarians. Most of them are outside of the industry. And then my partner came to me with an opportunity. So we are in robotics. We have a unmanned coffee robotic system. We have 2 franchisees here in the US. We just got a deal with Starbucks worldwide. So we're building the first unmanned Starbucks for Starbucks in Stockholm as we speak. And
Okay, I've been batting 100 and someone guessed. Have you ever met someone like this?
No.
No, never. You know what he
Nobody
reminds
said,
me of?
you know what he said, eh?
He reminds me of your neighbor.
Yeah, COVID happened to him.
I know.
Yeah.
Sorry,
for you.
sorry,
happened
Christian. We had
for
to have a break here for a second because
No, but
it's freaking amazing.
Remember at the beginning of the pandemic, me and you did a thing together.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't want to seem like a genius here, but I said, as much as all this is going to be really shitty, it's going to create so much
I remember
opportunity.
you saying that.
It's going to create so much opportunity because the weak ones are going to fall
I
behind.
did 1,400 shows, and I remember that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
remember, it was
What you said is so true, right?
Then I fell asleep.
Remember, it was Napoleon who said, "When there's chaos, there's opportunity," and it's absolutely right.
Yeah. So cool. That's awesome.
But he's like your neighbor,
Yeah.
right? Constantly going.
So yeah, and then we started a plant-based food company out of Florida. So I'm on the board of the
One more?
Yeah. And we just about 2 months ago signed the rights for a global distribution for a fully automated pizza robotic system.
Well, that's gonna be awesome because the ones that are out there now are still not very good. I don't think.
Yeah.
So were you at the Pizza Expo with yours or not yet?
Not yet.
No.
So we just finished it. We think it's the iPhone of the pizza vending machines. It's full glass, front to glass. You could see inside. It heats your pizza in a minute. It's all
glass like the phone.
It's all touchless. You don't need to push. You just wave your hand over it, and
Oh
it
wow!
chooses for you. With hand, you could leave a feedback. And we have a patent on a box. Yeah, where it puts the box in there. So we doing that, and then we have a few.
So how did your wife think? How do you get along with your wife? Are you there? Is that the success? Is this a key part of your successful marriage?
We don't ask personal
I'm
shit.
asking a personal. I'm
You're
going
not
through
supposed to go
divorce.
personal.
I'm going through
You're
divorce.
not
I want to
supposed
know.
to go through
No,
personal shit. It's on the rules.
I never
Politics
heard
and
of
personal.
this is a no rules podcast.
My
A no rules non-podcast.
my dad always said, Christian, whatever kinky shit you into, your wife needs to too, otherwise it won't work. And she's absolutely the best thing ever happened to me. She's amazing. Best person I ever met, and she made me a better
Congratulations
person.
to her for. Well, you sound like you're a busy effing guy, man.
No, he's insane busy.
Yes, of course he's busy.
Like,
So
I thought I was
that's why I
fucking
asked him, is
busy.
that
This
the
guy's
key to-
insane.
is that the key to a successful marriage? Because I'm going to go work harder. The next woman I get, I'm going to
Well,
say,
you're-
I'm
you're-
going to be
you're-
18 hours a day. I'm
You're
going to come up.
borderline professional podcaster, by the way.
Oh yeah,
just
this
so
is
you
my
know,
side gig.
this is our side gig. Eat pizza, talk about people's personal lives.
Jay, and then I was like, we need to get our word out there. So last month we wrote 6 ebooks, and which we pushing out there now. We call it From Chef to Entrepreneur. And so we're building a whole platform called From Chef to Entrepreneur. We have a Disruptive Chef podcast. We do a Monday afternoon session with Monte, talking about the restaurant industry. Every Tuesday, we give a small business tip. So we out there on Tuesday. We have another podcast on Thursday where we share tips, tricks, and shits we implement, what we do. And then we call the VIP series. So we have a VIP series where we teach people the nuggets of doing what I do. So we have, we do 6 podcasts a week. And,
6 podcasts a week?
Only six?
Only 6, Chef?
I know I'm slacking a little bit.
Oh, shit. 34
But
bucks,
wait a
6
sec.
podcasts.
And now I'm going to say it. And 2 on Sunday, right?
2 on Sunday.
Sunday I do not work, but every other day I'm usually here at the office by 7 and I leave by 9:30, 10.
Do you take a break? Do you take a break, Chef?
7 till 9:30.
I know, but do you take a moment? Because we hear this all the time. You gotta go have these moments.
I try to practice the 40-20. 40
Okay,
minutes focus, 20 minutes bullshit. So where I go over, give the girls a hard time. Or I call
I'm
one of
like
my
you, because that's what I do. I'm more 80-20, but I
40-20.
no, I'm sorry. I'm more 20-80.
So
It's funny because that came up today. It's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm fucking around. I'm watching I'm watching videos. I'm supposed to be working, but
You got on TikTok, didn't you?
no, I was just watching.
You know, my phone tells me when you're on TikTok.
What?
It gives me because it says
I'm turning that off.
Dominic's on. Wave to him. Exactly. I fucking know when you're on TikTok.
Why is Jay watching me? What the hell? So Chef, wait a second. You do the 40-20 rule, okay?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, this is crazy.
Well, really, literally though, how do you find like some of the stuff runs itself now because you've been doing it for a long time?
Yeah.
Some of it's, but you need the sort of the creative vision to make it happen. And we're almost getting to our time here. But how do you find time to do all that?
So listen, some days is better than others, but I structure my day. So Monday is creation day, Tuesday is connection day, and so I kind of break it out. And so we have every day we do something different. And so my team, when they leave,
focus
5, she gives me this. Christian, you need to do 6 new videos, 30 seconds.
Who gives that to you?
My team. I have
somebody to keep you on track. Yeah.
So
I need one.
She's with me 7 months. I should have hired her 7 years ago, but so she's my director of digital marketing. So she keeps me, and she does all the digital stuff. And for me, I can support my companies and do what I do with that.
Good for you.
And then, it also, so for me, I also support a company out of India, a company out of Singapore. So some days I'm here 6 o'clock in the morning to do all the Europe stuff because one of the companies out of Spain. And then,
You thought you were busy, man.
I thought I was busy.
Yeah, this puts you.
Like
he's
I'm
put
not
me
even
to shame.
like he's like crushing
He's
me.
done more on Monday than you did.
I know
in 2
exactly.
weeks, right?
On Friday.
Yeah.
I'm like blown away. Sean.
And for me, you've done more on Monday than I do in a month. So
yeah, like he's holy.
I don't want people to think I'm lazy.
Well, just wait a
But
second.
he's surrounded himself with good people. Wait a second.
Okay, surrounded around good people, but I gotta ask his health. Like,
No,
Chef, how do you not?
He looks like $1 million, man.
I know
You said
he
it at the
does.
beginning.
I know he does. He looks great, but are
He's
you
71.
at caffeine?
He's 84. How old are you?
92.
I do.
He's got to be something. Like, do you drink?
Oh, hydrate.
See, I got my Chef. I got the same bottle. I got the same one.
And
Do you feel better drinking that? Because
For
why
me-
don't they have one?
a
You're
few
supposed
years
to get
ago, I start taking NMN. I do transversal and a few other things, but
Fucking bite. Never. Sorry, we're arguing.
Sorry, Jay.
Jesus. I was going to come down.
Just send me the link. I'll buy my own.
Okay. Sorry.
I want that one.
Is
that
that's
the
the
good
one
one?
I have. I have the same one. Do you notice, Chef, that helps?
yeah. Like I said, I track everything. I track. There's something called an app. It's called Life Tracker, and I even, as a side hustle, I manage 6 churches and I support 176 churches.
Wait a sec. Can I ask one more question?
Jesus Christ.
How many animal shelters do you run and support?
Come on, you do.
So this gives me my life cycle. So I have this thing. It tracks everything, how much time I spend in the car, So I track everything. And I use Whoop. Do you Whoop?
No,
No.
You
Whoop?
Yeah, Whoop tells me how much strain I put in my system and what I need to do to recover. So I track my whole... Yeah.
You taking notes on this stuff?
Well, we thankfully somebody's recording this, so we
yeah,
can watch it
that's
again.
true. Okay.
So put a bookmark there on Whoop.
So if I log into my Whoop app, it tells me. So for an example,
Wow.
So I'm supposed to be within less than 14. My strain on my system was 14.1. My sleep quality was 64%. My recovery was 73. And I slept 6 hours and 5 minutes. So,
Wow.
And in order to be full recovery tomorrow, it asked me to sleep 5 hours and 50 minutes. It gives me a resting heart rate. It gives me all the stuff. So for me, I track everything and I record it. I learned a long time ago, if a life is worth living, it's worth recording. So I track everything I do. And then let's tweak every day a little bit.
So I heard on one of the next shows we get Whoop apps, Whoop bracelets from our guests. So we're inviting him back tomorrow.
Well, we're gonna get Whoop. This is crazy. So, Chef. So, okay.
I think we can tie that into.
But
the
how?
stampede.
Like, you're not you're not on caffeine. I'm guessing.
No, I don't do coffee. I don't do any of that sort thing. So
Except that you started a robotic coffee machine.
No, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter. He doesn't need it. Look at him.
Does it do tea? I want to know.
Fuck, it's crazy. So, Chef. So, what is it? At the end of the day, what do you want to be known for?
So for me, I want to do two things. My biggest goal is to drive the industry forward. And
Why do you love that? Does it go back to family heritage?
No, so for me, it's really simple. COVID showed me how fragile the industry actually is. And I've seen so many of my friends struggle. So I want to have those guys find the passion in what they're good is and give them a way for them to maximize and capitalize on their transferable skills. Wow. For me, one of my side goals is I want to have 1 million chefs write a book over the next 10 years. And my other goal is we want to have 1,000 chefs over the next 10 years do what I do. I'm not the brightest guy. I've been lucky. And I honestly think effort outbeats, smartness all the time. And just keep at it. And I want people to have the kind of life I have. I love what I do. And for me, it's every day is about creating and make an impact on the industry and teach those chefs those little tricks and tips. Because what I learned over the years managing as many people, at one point I had 42,000 people under me. It didn't make a difference. There were 6 things everybody needed, and everybody had kind of the same thing. And people need somebody who sees in them what they don't see in ourselves. And a lot of chefs need to realize that they usually one skill away to have a totally different life.
Tell us the 6 things, Chef. You can't just leave us hanging like that. You give us only one of them. We need all 6. And list them slowly in order so that we can put the bullet points up after.
We're writing.
So it's for me, it's actually really simple. First of all, they need to be heard. Second one, they need to be significant. They need to know that they make an impact. Yeah. They need to be able to have, I don't think getting there, what you need to do is they need to be able to grow. They need to be able to contribute. They need to be able to feel loved in whatever they do. And the final thing is they need to be able, I'm not sure what you call it in English, but the word for me, I always use, you need them, they need to realize that, I can do anything. And for me, we want to wake that up. And chefs have the ability to do that. And for me, I see some of my chefs' friends struggle, and I know they're better than that. Yeah. And I know they have better skills in some stuff than I do. And so I want them to say, hey, I grew up in a small town of 27 people in Austria. Half of the town was my family. And if I can do what I do today, anybody can do it. And I came to this country not speaking English. And so for me, I was always an outsider. For me, I want chefs to have the unfair advantage to do anything they want to do.
So cool. Jay, it's a recurring theme in our podcasts since we've been podcasting together. I did a talk to a restaurant convention a long time ago where it was to find the diamonds in the rough that are in your organization because they're there, that need all the things that he just said. And we said it many things. We said it with Monty.
1,000,000 times. Is
that there's people inside your organization that'll want to do videos so you have the talent there. It's just they need an outlet for it. So, Chef, thank you so much for. I don't know where Jay finds you guys, but for preaching to the choir, let's say, right. So I'm already sold on what you. I believe that myself. Everything you just said. I wasn't smart enough to write it down like 6 points like that, but Matthew, who we're going to have on my show as well. He's got a successful organization. He's the top in his business. Jeez. A small little unit. They make money where other people don't with massive things, and only because all the things he just said. Exactly that. the people make a difference. And he says it every day. The people around me are what's doing this, because he says I'm a schmuck. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Well, we're schmucks.
Yeah.
In a great podcast.
Yeah.
Not a podcast.
This is not a
I
podcast.
said it was a podcast.
Yeah, don't do it.
Fuck.
So we
Chef,
want that shirt.
First of all, like, honestly, it's a complete honor. Like, I've heard, like I knew you were amazing. I told Dominic, oh my God. And then I said, this guy, this incredible person called me the Howard Stern of the industry.
Yeah. So
you can see why I bragged about it. Look who told it. Look who said it. This guy right there. He's incredible.
You know why I said it? Our industry needs somebody who gives what we do voice. And
that's true.
And Howard Stern did it for the radio industry, and you doing it for the hospitality industry. And you doing it not because you want to be rich, because you want to make a difference. And then the end of the day, for me, that is the difference.
Yeah, he forgot his wallet when we went for dinner tonight, just so you know. It really, I said,
why would you bring that up?
I just said to him, hey,
for
that's supposed to
sake.
But wait a sec. But I'm going to tell you that I'm feeding the story here, Jay. I'm feeding the story.
I still paid with my phone.
Oh, you did. Oh, I take it all back. I said to him,
"Fuck!"
Hey,
it was like this emotional moment, and you ruined it.
No, I didn't ruin it. I'm gonna say it though.
Hold on, there's two other things why he's the Howard Stern.
Jay is like that. Jay is that person. He's the person you're describing.
Voice. I think, Jay, you don't know that yet, but I think what you're doing here, you have that innate ability to break down that barrier.
Yeah.
This is a fucked up industry. Yeah. The industry is not a healthy industry. But you make it approachable, and you make it simple, and you have that sense of humor. And for me, every time, so as I heard about you, I started watching some of your episodes, and I said to my wife, that fucking guy is the Howard Stern of the food service industry. I want to have him see what his sous chef can do with a 10-inch kibasi. But And so for you, you make it sound easy, and you make it look easy. And for you, I think there's two things what I admire about you is you have an amazing heart to do this, because otherwise you're a good looking guy. You could do something else. And the second thing is what you said, and I honestly believe that you said you try to make a joke as people find you, but I honestly believe if you do what you meant to do, people will find you. And there's this corny saying which goes, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, and you are our teacher. So thank you for that, Jay.
Wow.
Wow.
Good. Yeah, that's such a compliment, Jay.
It is huge. Yeah,
awesome.
Thank you.
I also believe that, Chef. I think Jay's a humble guy who just wants to help.
Yeah.
And that.
I've told you my story. Why? I've never told Chef. I want to tell Chef this.
Yeah. We
shush,
got only 4 minutes. But go for it.
It's my show. 2 hours. We go forever. We'll break the. We'll cut this.
Wait a sec.
This will be like part C of the show. We'll break it. But here's the reason, Chef, that I do what I do. Okay. First of all, the industry is my safe haven. So even today, when we went into the restaurant next door here to grab something, instantly when I walk into a restaurant, smell or sound or not even the food taste, just the environment, I feel safe, because I grew up in a house where it was abusive in a sense of sound, like not physical, but it was screaming and hollering, and parents were fighting nonstop. It was that environment, and it was scary when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So on Fridays and Saturdays, typically Fridays and Saturdays, it was the days to go out, because we never went out during the week.
Mm-hmm.
It was Fridays and Saturdays. So when I was a little kid, when we went to the restaurant, they never fought.
Oh.
So my parents never fought when I was in a restaurant. So I would go in, and it was like my place. We didn't know about this until about 4 years ago. Matt Rolfe and me did a show, and we dug this out. Is that when I went to a restaurant, I was safe. There was no fighting.
Yeah.
There was no bickering or getting mad at each other. And I felt like it was my place. I could just relax and be a kid. So I could, and then I would even want to stay longer. So I would even sleep in the booths.
Oh.
So my parents could stay longer.
Wow.
And have coffee. And it was like, I was hoping that we stayed longer there. Mm-hmm. So that was Friday. And then Saturday, if I got lucky again and they wanted to go out longer, then that was
Another
another night. So I got 2 nights in a week.
Wow.
So when I grew up, and I didn't know, and I worked in restaurants for this is my 34th year being in this industry. I didn't know until me and Matt Rolfe were figuring out. And he says, "Why do you love the industry?" And I said, "I don't know. Right? I really didn't know."
So that was like your journey
like
of
I loved
discovery
it.
and talking
Yeah.
to kind of
And then
figure it out.
we figured it out. We dug it out, going,
Yeah.
this is my place that I feel safe. So today, like, it's funny because I have like PTSD through the roof in certain days. Like Sundays, my kids are like, "Dad, can we open the window blinds?" I can't because it's ugly.
Oh.
Sundays where parents had to go back to work on Monday, fighting was crazy. So Sundays are bad for me.
Mm.
Now I can go into any restaurant and instantly I can actually feel my body and my
Wow.
mind actually go, "I'm home."
Yeah.
Like it feels home. So my plan so I've created, like, I built the resource department and provided resources for restaurants for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Pandemic hit, and I said, I have to give these people voices. I have to give the industry a voice, a place to talk and to share stories. So after 1,500 shows later, we never talked once about myself
It's amazing.
or what I did. It was always about the person on the show or the guest.
So maybe one show I'll interview you.
Yeah, well, yeah, I should. And I think one person did. I did for the magazine that's coming
Yeah.
out. So on that's why I do what I do, Chef. And that's why I do is I feel like I have to give back because it saved me being a kid and growing up. And so today I didn't know that until Matt. And I thank Matt for that. Is I honestly feel like if we lose those restaurants or those restaurants don't have those voices or don't have the ability to tell their stories or get us curious about what they do, we will lose those locations. And you can't curl up in a McDonald's booth.
No.
But I did feel safe at McDonald's too. I just so you know, it still was. I say it didn't matter if it was a McDonald's because there was only McDonald's or A&W at the time, or it was the pizza place. Still today, even today,
That's
just like I
wild.
said, an hour, I can go into any place and go, "I'm home." And that's probably why when I work with customers or work with clients, I go into their place and we'll talk. Like I spent yesterday, Chef, I was with a chef for 4 hours. We talked in his kitchen, his restaurant, 4 hours and everything. And he's like, and then I talked to the lady that was with me and she goes, I said, "So how long?" Like, was that a couple hours? She goes, "Dude, I had to reset my 2-hour parking twice on you." And I said, I just feel
That's how you can,
comfortable.
That's a power in connecting because
it's personal.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And
It's personal. That's why
and that's
when
part of your
people mess
success.
with my shows or mess with what I do, I get mad because it's personal.
Yes.
This isn't like, to your point, Chef, I'm not making millions of dollars or
Or any dollars.
or any dollars or driving a fancy car. I'm doing this because I have to give back to the industry that saved me.
Yeah.
So I can write a book, Chef, about that. Easily.
I think you need to.
I think I need to. Now she said that we're gonna have to talk. I need it done in 90 days.
You know what is so powerful in this whole thing? If anybody listening here, and if you're not in the food industry, it makes no damn difference. Using the principles you just talked about, they transferable. You know, it doesn't matter if you're in the food industry or not. And
That's what made you a good salesperson too, by the way, is that connection.
absolutely.
Is because people and back to something you
And
also
a
said.
coach, and a coach today.
You're a coach today, but one of the things that's common through all those is you're authentic. It's not bullshit.
No,
It's real.
no. I wish I could sometimes.
No, but you can't. No,
can't.
and that
I
but
can't.
Jay, that's
I
your
physically
superpower. man.
can't.
That's your superpower in that you're real. And
Yeah.
as soon as you start faking it, people are going to see right through it, man.
I can't. But
No.
I try. Like I can't.
No, you won't. No,
I can't.
you're not. It's too
I get
late
in shit
for-
all the time
for sure.
because I can't.
No, you're
I get
too
into
late.
meetings and I'm like, we're gonna change the world, and like cause some shit. And everyone looks at me going, "Oh my god, what did he just say?" You know, like it's what I am. I'm real.
No,
I'm
that's a good thing. It's not. It's probably never a bad thing. Yeah, I'm sure there's places where it would be a bad thing, but in general, it's
not
a good thing.
when we
In
do
this
these
industry,
things.
it's really, really good
Yeah.
because
There's
for
too much
long-
of that.
Yeah, exactly. There's too much fluff.
Chef, you've
there's too
seen
much-
enough. I'm sure you could write millions of books on the fluff you've
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah, so
Fluff
And
is shit,
it
by
is.
the way.
it is.
Yeah.
it is. It is because the more honest we are with ourselves, the quicker we'll get to
Our industry,
some sort of resolution or fixing things.
Sorry, Chef, go ahead.
I said fluff in our industry is not good, but in some of the other industries, I hear it's a must.
Yeah.
I guess for me, I'm thankful that I'm not in those because I'm with you. I don't want it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know it. I told you my story about somebody from an association calling and trying to get me to renew it. I said, I haven't heard from you 6 years. And all of a sudden I didn't pay my membership. And all of a sudden you're calling me interested in me and you don't even know nothing. So that whole, you're faking it to try and get along. It doesn't work. People are saying bullshit.
I absolutely love it because for me, it became our business model. We don't want to do business. So I only do business with people because I genuinely connect with them and I want to hang out with them outside of work. And money aside, money doesn't mean anything. At the end of the day, if you peel it all back, money has no meaning. And for me, and my partner's name is Patrick, and him and I always talk about if we do something, we talk to those people, and if we don't connect, we walk away. It doesn't matter how good the product is, because if you hang out, we have this simple rule: no bullshit, no ego, no lie. And when we get together, if I don't need to bullshit anybody, if I don't need to lie to anybody, if I don't need to have my ego in, you get shit done. And for us, it's been really successful. And just doing that simple little thing, it makes business easy. You get things done. And
for damn sure, man. For sure. As soon as you cut all that crap out, I say exactly what you just said. I've got nowhere near any of the business you have, but I just say, hey, all I want to do is good, clean business. Mm-hmm. We're going to give you a good price. We're going to give you outstanding service. And for us, we don't even need a contract. If we're no good, you can fire us. I want you to give us a chance to fix it. But why would I have a contract with 30 day exit? If I'm fucking up that bad, you need to fire me. I wouldn't want to hire me either. So totally that philosophy just serves, and same for restaurants, right? When they're honest with their customers and they're open with their customers,
even when shit happens.
Exactly. When shit happens and they own it right away. Mm-hmm. I got a story for you after. I'll tell you.
Okay. But we should cut because Chef's probably
getting tired.
Well, he's got to write up another book.
Well, and then it's past his 11 o'clock when his wife gets him for 15 minutes every day. So don't blame us, Chef. This was you.
This is on you. Yeah.
My house is a mile from here. My wife comes here for lunch. My wife comes here because she has a yoga studio upstairs. And my kids come here after school. This is our second home. And
I love it.
Things are beautiful.
Congratulations, chefs. Thanks so much for joining us.
Honestly,
what an amazing story.
It's an unbelievable story. Like,
cool.
It's a Netflix movie.
Well, and we have to have him back.
Listen,
we have to have him back? Hell yeah.
Yes.
Chef, we're going to have you back. Because we're not even done the stories. No, we're not. We just hit the surface.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome.
So we'll go in 5-year stints next time. We'll say, hey, can we start here? Can we start in 1990? Well, let's start in 1980.
Let's start
probably
95. When he was 18, right? Let's just go by the years. Let's do 95. What'd you do in 95? Right, no, Chef,
37 companies.
Yeah. Honestly, first of all, I have to thank you for everything you said. It really is inspiring. And I've had a rough year, and so hearing that means a lot. So thank you so much. It really does.
No, absolutely mean it. Absolutely mean it.
I feel that I always feel things happen. I know it's a cheesy line, but I do really believe things happen for a reason.
Yep.
And I believe that we crossed paths with Monty, and I'm grateful for Monty. I think there's some synergy here, and I'd love to learn how to write a book with you. And I'm just blown away. And honestly, it's incredible to meet you and hear your story. Is just it's inspiring.
Yeah. It is very.
We need more people, especially in our age, to inspire not only the young, but us 40-some-year-olds.
Yeah.
And you 60-year-olds, Dominic.
Thanks, Jay.
I gotta fucking get you back on half the smack you did tonight. But I thank you, Chef. Seriously,
just
it
for
means
everybody.
a lot. It really
Jay did buy. I'll put the truth out. Jay did buy lunch.
I did buy lunch.
He did buy lunch.
I know. I bought lunch yesterday too, just so you know.
And did buy lunch yesterday. Yeah, thank you so much.
Chef, honestly, we will have you back, and I just want to say thank you. It's a
And
pleasure.
you were going to buy dinner last night, and I didn't.
We have to let the poor guy fucking go home. Like, Jesus Christ. Anyways, thank you so much to everyone else. I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode on the Late Night Restaurant Show. Oh, by the way, we are the only late night restaurant show on the planet.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. And it's not even a podcast. Shit,
It's not even a podcast.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Shit.
Yeah.
You keep saying that P word, we're going to get in trouble.
No.
Anyways, thanks so much, everyone. And here's our statement, just in case you had a disclaimer moment. We'll throw that up in there. Because
I think most of the swears actually came from Chef, though.
Exactly. It's this potty mouth, right? Anyways, we want to thank everyone, and everyone have a great evening. We'll turn up the music, and then we'll turn everything up. Here we go.